morning, everyone. As you can see, we're coming to you live now with the FPL Breakdown Show. I'm joined alongside my beautiful co-host, Georgie Boy. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. It's great to be live. Obviously, we've done a couple of pre-recorded stuff where we talk FPL bollocks, really, and not very good. So yeah, it's good to actually do that to you live. But yeah, not been a bad week. Been a busy week. Obviously happy. It's not been a bad week if you're an Arsenal fan, is it? Really, not too shabby. It's been a bit of an Eze one for me.
It has indeed. But no, yeah, like you say, mate, it's great to start to come live. Guys watching, throw some questions in. Tell us your teams, any picks you think's your captain. Then we'll bring them up as we go along. But George, I'll hand over to you now because we have a special guest joining us for our first live show.
Yeah, so like Jones said, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Going to introduce you to our guest. Some of you might recognise him for being the only one that talks sense on the Arsenal Women Chat Show. It's Ravi. How you doing, mate?
All good, all good. Just slightly recovering from a little cold this week, but other than that, all good.
Yeah, it's not a show with Arsenal supporters if we're not 100% fit, is it really? So yeah, gonna dive straight in. We'll go into our last game week, which was game week 12. I'll start with you, Ravi. Actually, put you on the spot. So a little bird told me you played your free hit. How did that go?
I thought going into this, I thought it was a great decision. I think I had 3 players potentially injured in Gabriel, Semenyo, and one more. And then I thought, do you know what? Like, it's the time to do it. If we're allowed to use the chips twice this season, I was like, might as well use it. In theory, it was a great decision. In practicality, it was not. I finished with 31 points, which was horrendous. Like, it's a bit small, but yeah, like Pedro Neto being my top scorer with 8 points, followed by Declan Rice, and then a series of 1s and 2s, was quite frankly disgusting. And yeah, like a lot of the decisions that I had in my mind going into the free hit of like, should I go Joao Pedro against Burnley or should I go with the informed Thiago for Brentford? And I went with the fixtures and I went with Joao Pedro, who got me 1 point, only to see Thiago score, 1 or 2 goals.
Yeah.
And as soon as that happened, I was just like, this is like, I'm just going to write this one off as a bad decision. That.
Yeah. Pedro Neto, you got away with that one.
I did.
Yeah, I always get scared to pick someone like that because I just PTSD over Neto like last couple of years. Obviously it's so hard, isn't it, Ravi? Like when you get the free hit, obviously you're attacking those specific fixes that you think are going to get you the most points, but half the time it doesn't work out like that, does it?
No, and I think that's the risk you got to take. And it's like a 1-game punt. And I ended up with a team that had Haaland, Salah, and Burmo, Neto, Joao Pedro, Mateta, and only one of them scored. Like, these are players that have been their sort of like main like character of that team. Only for them to all pretty much not score in this one week. So yeah, it was just a really weird week for results, I think. Obviously, as an Arsenal fan, the results went our way for the league position, but when it comes to fantasy football, it didn't really go that way. But hey, we'll take the wins when we get them.
So yeah, it's a bit of a mini story about my game week. So I was away in Birmingham, and then on the Friday I thought, oh, do you know what? I should probably just take Semenyo out and bring Eze in. And then I got distracted. So it didn't happen. I was like, nah. When he scored 1, I was like, obviously really happy, and he scored 2, and I was absolutely delighted. And I was like, thinking to myself, oh shit, I was meant to pick him. So yeah, that small little spoiler, that mistake's not happened again. So Jonesy, how was your game week? You ain't got no Spurs players in your team now, have you?
No, I've learned my lesson
Cool.
being outed in the X group. So yeah, no Spurs players this week. I'll bring up my team. It's the same. I have not made any changes other than bringing Gorkarez back in. Free might play, might not. I don't know what I'm doing yet with him. But yeah, I had Eze in there. Timber, I think I finished on 59 points, I think it was.
They're probably just off Eze and Timber, weren't they?
They were just off them two, yeah. Semenyo, like I say, I didn't even look at it, to be fair, last week. I did kind of forget, and then the deadline had passed, but they did me well, so I might do the same thing, just leave them. I've got I think 2 or 3 transfers I could make, but at the moment, as you can see, I've played my wild card, I've played my triple cap, I've played all of them because I needed to. I was in a bad
state. Wild card in game week 2, mate. I did.
Game week 2, a wild card. Yeah. It done me well, but yeah, I don't know what I'm doing yet. There might be a late change come maybe tonight or early in the morning. Yeah, they done me quite well. Like I say, Haaland didn't do me anything. Mateta wasn't that great either, to be honest. Like you say, mate, all my points, if it weren't for Eze being in that team, and I had him as vice captain, but I don't think he got much for that anyway. But if it weren't for Eze,
imagine if you captained him.
Yeah, I imagine it did, but no, I left captain by accident on Haaland. But yeah, I would have been sitting here with 39 points rather than 59 if Eze didn't do what he did.
Yeah, it's an interesting one with Semenyo, Ravi. I'll come to you. Obviously, there's a lot of talk. Oh, he's out, isn't he? And then they said he was available. Then how ironic is it on the day of the game? They say, oh no, he's caught a virus, so he was out anyway. So I think that probably. Do you think that's changed people's ideas whether they keep Semenyo or not?
I don't think so, really. I mean, I think he's one of those players that you see at lower division sides. Like we had it with Elise a couple of years ago. We had it with Eze last year at Palace, where it's kind of like big fish, small pond, where he is by far and away their best player and will score or assist at least half of their goals throughout the entirety of the season. So you can put a pretty solid bet that if they are going to score, it's going to be him. And that's kind of like the logic that I've had throughout the last couple of years playing the game. And it served me quite well, but evidently not this season. But like, I think you'd be making a questionable decision if you picked him up early in the season and his price has gone up so much that if you were to get rid and then like when he's fit and firing again and you bring him back, then you've got to pay that little bit of an excess to bring him back into the team.
Yeah.
So I brought him in. I brought him in game week 3.
Yeah.
So I've been one of those people that is a bit worried about selling him.
Yeah.
Because I would lose probably about 0.6, 0.7 million.
Yeah.
So, but we'll look at our teams later as well. But you will see Semenyo's not in my team, but that's because I've free hitted. Because I think that gives you a bit of a weak buffer for certain players that are doubtful or carrying a bit of injury, like your Semenyos or your Gyökeres's.
Yeah.
And for me, there's not really any. I think there's only one other striker apart from Haaland that people would be that interested in, but we'll get into that later. We'll briefly go into the Arsenal game, Jonesy, from an FPL point of view. If obviously, I think Yuri and Timber, we've mentioned him before. He's definitely probably been one of the best defenders across Europe this season, and he's still he's not just there as defender, is he? Like he's the attacking element that he's having as well is kind of makes you want to pick him over Gabriel, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it is. He's doing so well for us, Timber, at the moment, and he's getting us defensive points and attacking points. If you think about it, because he's got the possibility of picking up assists. Obviously, a goal against Bayern Munich. I know we don't get anything for that, but it's good form going into a Premier League game, isn't it? If he's grabbing goals in midweek in Champions League style, but yeah, no, I did have Gabriel in. Gabriel's gone now, obviously, because he got an injury. And I've got Timber in there now, and he will stay Timber, I think, probably much for the rest of the season. Only other player I would like to get in, but you can't because obviously you're going to have 3 is getting Calafiori in as well. I think he's another player that's got the possibility of picking you up, not just defensive points, but but also them crucial attacking ones for assists and stuff like that. A bit like I've got Daniel Munoz in from Crystal Palace, and that guy gets me points galore, and it's from attacking and scoring goals more than anything, because I know he plays as a right wing back more than a defensive right back. But yeah, we're going back to the Arsenal game, mate. I did well to have Eze in there. Like I say, finally looked at it, and Timber as well. So yeah, it was a good week for you lot who've got Arsenal players in your team, and it's a sign to maybe keep them in and get some more in as well. Absolutely, because we're winning it all, by the way.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, like there was someone who had Trossard, Eze, and Timber. So if you've done that,
Wow, there you go.
Well done. But cool. We'll go into the kind of about the people transfer ins and transfer out. With the transfer out, I'm assuming Gabriel's at the top.
Yeah, so let me just put that on, and I'll remove that banner for the sign.
No one knows how long he's out for, do they? I suppose. But
no, so yeah,
he'll be back tomorrow or something.
Top of the list, it was Gabriel, like you say, mate. Then Semenyo was next, then João Pedro, then Caicedo, and then Ekitike was the last one to make up the list of most transferred out last week.
Oh, he got injured, didn't he? I think as well in the week.
Yeah, so I
when
think
Liverpool got battered again.
3 of them players are due to injuries, and the other 2 are due to, I'm guessing, form, isn't it? So yeah, that was the most transferred out, but Gabriel obviously top of that list.
Yeah, Ravi, what would you, out of that 5, do you think that's kind of self-explanatory, or the Caicedo one? I think is interesting.
Yeah, I think so I took out a Chelsea player this week, and I will get into sort of our teams later on. But I looked at Chelsea's fixtures and it looks rough. Obviously, they've got us next. And actually, where are the fixtures? For a second, because I did have Chelsea's fixtures in front of me. View full profile. Yeah, so their next few fixtures are Arsenal, Leeds, Bournemouth, Everton, Newcastle. And that's looking a bit rough for both attacking and defensive returns.
So Semenyo's back. That Bournemouth game ain't easy.
Yeah. And like even after that, a few games after the Newcastle game, they've got Man City away. So like over those next sort of like 6-7 games, I probably wouldn't put any Chelsea players in my team.
Sorry, Ravi. You said 6-7, and my kids were just like 6-7. So thanks for doing that, mate.
I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, it still is. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think with Caicedo though, he does pull in the DEFCON points though, doesn't he? Like, so even if they're not playing that well, it's still likely that you could end up getting 4 or 5 points. I don't know. He's not expensive, but I would if you could have him in your squad as an option. I don't know. I wouldn't say he's a definite. Like, I think it's weird that he's quite high up on selling him.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised to see him in the list more than anything else.
Yeah.
I thought he's probably the Chelsea player you're going to have on lock. But I think a
lot
of people
Salah's not in that list.
Well, I think everyone who had Salah at the start of the season sold Salah.
Or Van Dijk, of course.
I mean, to be fair, admittedly, I started the season with Salah instead of Haaland.
I
did for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, same.
Just because I just thought, I think Salah's got one more season in him, and with the way that Liverpool have been, when they started off the season, they were at 1 point 5 points clear, and I thought, do you know what? It's not too bad. But then, I'd already made the decision by I think game week 3 or so that I wanted to bring Haaland into the team instead of Salah.
Yeah.
But with Caicedo, I think defensive contributions have been a big thing with the game this season. And it allows you to pick someone like him who's going to play 90 minutes. So he's going to get 2 points regardless. He is probably going to hit his defensive contributions. So he's probably going to get you about 3-4 points most games, depending on if he gets booked or not. And
he's got a goal in him, isn't he?
And I think that's something that is added to his locker this season that he didn't have last season. If he was scoring at this the same rate as he started the season as he did last season, I reckon it's probably 6.5, maybe 7.
Yeah. I think his price is quite low for what he does. Like what I think it was like 5.5 or something like that when I
I think he
first got
started at
him.
6.
Oh, was it
Season. I
6?
think he
Okay.
started at 6 this season. He's
Yeah.
close to 6.5 now.
Yeah. So yeah, like I think the Tottenham game was where you got most of the points for him when was it Tottenham when he scored? Was it Liverpool or someone like that? But so yeah, it's a bit surprising. Who's the top 5 for people bringing in?
So the top 5 for bringing in was Thiago, Brentford striker. Eze was brought in as well.
That's a
For
surprise.
second. Daniel Munoz, who I mentioned earlier, he's been in my team. He was in my team the whole of last FPL and the whole of this. He's going to be in the whole of this one as well, unless he gets injured. Morgan Rogers and Jury Timber was the last one.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Morgan Rogers is interesting, Jonesy, isn't it? Like obviously he went through a bit of a bad patch, but then last week, I think it was, or the week before, he scored a couple of goals, and they're at home to Wolves. So fill your boots, Morgan.
Yeah, no, he's a very good player, and with Ollie Watkins not doing anything this season,
He's been awful.
He's probably if you look at Aston Villa, he's the next player you pick, unless obviously you've got Martinez in goal, and he's not great either. To be fair,
he's the best goalkeeper in the world, apparently.
Yeah, apparently, but no, Morgan Rogers is a player who I would like to get in my team. Well, I haven't got him in yet in that midfield, but looking at, I've got Casido in at the moment, and that's the kind of transfer I'm weighing up this week. I don't know if I should. Where Ravi pointed out the run of fixtures that Chelsea got, it might be smart to maybe do something like that this week or maybe the next few weeks. But it's tough at the moment. I've got transfers. I'm sitting on them. There is players I want to bring in. Striker-wise, Thiago's another one I want to bring in. But then do I take out Gyökeres? Do I take out Thiago? And I said on the first time we ever did this show, I will not take Gyökeres out of that team because of a principle thing. But I don't know. I've when you've got money to spend, but you don't want to spend it. Yeah. This is how it feels. I've got transfers, but I don't know what to do with them. So it's going to get to the point where it's going to be like, what's the deadline tomorrow? Some crazy time at 5:30 or 11:30.
It's 1:30, isn't it?
1:30. I'm just going to make.
I don't think there's a 12:30 tomorrow.
Yeah. So
Jonesy at 1:29.
I will be doing a deadline day deal, and hopefully I don't bring in someone like Sterling. But I just don't know what to do. But Morgan Rogers is definitely a player on my radar at the moment. My scouts are out.
Cool. Kind of like going into the transfer stuff also, for those who are watching and stuff, and who are playing. So we get 5 free transfers in game week. Is it game week 16 or 17, Ravi?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because of AFCON, which I don't agree with the 5 free transfers. I think
I don't either.
I think it ruins it. Like it kind of makes it really easy.
They never did that before, so I don't really see the merit in doing it now.
Yeah, and I think we'll go to you, Ravi, about it. It kind of, I don't know if you agree. I think it kind of takes away the actual having to think about what you have to do. So if just hypothetically you got 3 or 4 players, you normally had to plan over a few game weeks to do it, but now you can just go bam, 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 get rid of them.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think this appeals to a demographic of players who are very casual football fans. So I think fantasy football's become its own thing now.
Yeah.
Where people are playing the game without really actually watching the games because they play it because people in the office play it. It's just a bit of fun, this kind of thing. You don't actually have to watch games because it's just stats and logic at the end of the day. So I think it appeals to the people that don't really know that AFCON's coming. And, popular players like Iliman and Jai, Semenyo, Caicedo, they're all going to go.
Yeah.
So, if you are looking at those players, probably best not to do it now. But in all honesty, you probably could put them in anyway and then use the 5 free transfers and just get rid.
Yeah, you got the only one in my team that's going there is Brian and Burmo, which I'm not too disappointed about.
Yeah, I'm looking at mine and I've got quite a few. I've got Semenyo. Well, to be fair, I'll run through the team a bit later. But I've got a few AFCON players in there.
Yeah. So obviously I've got that. I think I don't know what happened. So obviously I had three. This will be good English. Three free transfers before I done the free hit. So I'm assuming I keep them.
Yeah, so I had 2 free transfers before I did my free hit last week, and this week I have 2 free transfers.
Yeah, so looking like going into game week 14, I will still have free transfers. So that gives me basically those transfers to do basically for a couple of games if I want to, because then I've got 5 anyway, so it won't really matter.
Yeah,
because you can't. I think it can only go up to 6, isn't it, or something?
Maximum 5.
Oh, is it 5 now? Okay. Yeah. So obviously, there's no point me holding those transfers for 2 game weeks because they're just going to get reset anyway. So it'll be interesting. Because like if you think about it as well, if there's people that don't really care, you could kind of do a mini wild card on it, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like if you take 7 players out, that gives you a -8. But if you bring players in that get you like 80, 90 points, you're not going to really, like altogether as I say, you're not going to really miss that -8, are you, really?
No.
So, cool. Going on to talking about chips, not the food. So as I've said before, I'm playing my free hit. Just because it was if I was going to play it, it was this week. Like it had to be this week. I still had Gabriel, I had Semenyo, I had Gyökeres, I had Caicedo. It just needed to be done. So, Ravi, going back to you quickly, I know that you're talking about your triple captain. Obviously, we know you're going to play that on Danny Welbeck. Yeah, but
Declan
no,
Rice against Chelsea, triple captain.
Clip that, because now if Declan Rice goes and scores like 2 goals, you're going to be absolutely gutted, isn't it?
Honestly, I'll be absolutely raging. I'll be raging.
Yeah. But as soon as he's gone to score, what are you doing, Declan? Go backwards. Pretend it's Southgate. But yeah, all jokes aside, obviously there's only one choice, isn't there? Really?
Yeah. I for the first half of the season, so you can use your chips twice. I've used my bench boost in game week 2. I've used my wild card in 10. I used my free hit last week. I'm going to be using. Oh, I say I'm going to be using. I'm 85% sure I'm using it this week. Erling Haaland against Leeds at home. I don't think there's a better fixture to use it. Leeds have looked really shaky defensively, and Haaland has scored almost every goal for Man City. I think, what was it? Estevez for own goals is still their second highest goal scorer of the season.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. So, this is the week to use it. This is surely one that he's like gets back to form and scores a couple. Like, I hope Man City don't win as an Arsenal fan, but at the same point, if he does score about 17 goals, then I'll be pretty chuffed with that.
As long as they lose 18-17.
Yeah, as long as they lose 18-17, I'm fine.
No, hopefully not, because I've got Donnarumma in goal, to be honest.
Yeah, to be fair, I'll talk about my transfers in a bit, but I pulled in a City defender.
Yeah.
So, Jonesy, I'll come to you. Obviously, Haaland against Leeds is what everyone's probably looking at.
Yeah.
But if you had to choose and you had both, would you play your free hit this week or a triple captain? And the reason I asked that is because Man City still do have to play West Ham at home.
Yeah.
So everyone knows I'm a big fan of West Ham.
I mean,
predicted they was getting relegated this season. I still stick by that.
I played my triple captain on Haaland when they played Burnley, and I think
that's what I did.
He grabbed 2, was it, that game?
Yeah. Was that when he scored like 2 in about 10 seconds in the 90th minute? Yeah, that's one. I was very relieved when that happened.
But if I still had my chip like right now, then yeah, I'd probably do exactly whatever he's done. Leeds is probably the best time to play this chip on him, and other than obviously if it's someone else like West Ham, as you say. But yeah, no, I think he's going to bag this week, and he's going to bag about 4. I just think with City's run of results they've had last week, Premier League, and then obviously Champions League in the week, they're going to want to bounce back. And I don't think, unfortunately, Leeds are the team that's going to take the spanking. So yeah, play it on Haaland. And when we come back to this show next week and Leeds have won 1-0.
After Leeds, Leeds are on.
Me and Ravi will eat humble pie. But no, I would do exactly what Ravi's done.
Yeah, the only reason I'm saying about the free hit over the triple captain, just because I think there's more than one game that you could play it on Haaland. Whereas a free hit, I think if you're going to do it, it's this week. Would you agree with that, Ravi?
Yeah, I mean, I think free hit for me is always like contextual. I don't usually play a free hit unless it's like a big double game week or like a big like blank game week where hardly anyone's playing it and most of my players aren't.
Yeah.
So, or in a situation where you have 3 injury or suspension flags in your team, which George, I think you do have 3 in your team. So like me, I played mine last week purely because I had 3 injuries, and I'm very sort of like I like to have a bench full of like able players. So that was my driving force in using it, and that's the only times I ever use it. So I like it in this sort of context. While you've got Haaland as an option here, you can still captain him anyway. You don't have to free him out. But to make sure you've got a full squad of players able to play, might as well use it.
Yeah, I just think as well. Obviously, with Haaland, he hasn't scored for 2 games, which is never normally a
goal drought for him.
Yeah, it's a goal drought for him. Obviously, he's from Leeds, isn't he? So-called. I didn't know Leeds was in Norway, but that's what I keep getting told. He's from Leeds, so yeah. I think if you're going to play it on anyone, I think you're very, very brave, or very, very drunk on other substances that we won't go into if you don't play it on Erling Haaland this weekend.
Yeah. I mean, I'm literally I've got 2 screens here. I'm talking to you on one. I've got my team on the other, and my mouse is currently hovering over the play triple captain button. As we're talking about this, like my hand is edging closer to pressing it.
Do it. What's the worst that could happen?
Do it by the end of the show.
I'm actually playing it now. I'm not.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. It's all done. It's all done.
I think we've done that to each other on one of the first shows, so we don't have peer pressure on this show, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it's not peer pressure. It's just encouragement.
Yeah.
George, just to say a couple of headlines. Gav's in the comments and prepared to lose on Sunday.
Well, he is. Oh, I'm glad he is. Well done, mate.
And we've also got Darren as well. He's in Evening Chaps, and he said,
hey, Darren.
Chelsea are getting battered on Sunday. I agree.
I'll send you a picture of the Champions League afterwards, Gav.
Just before we touch on time, should I just quickly run through the team of the week last week?
Yeah, can do.
So we've got the team of the week there, as you can see from last week. So I'll run through it for you, George. There, Pickford picked up 10 points.
That's because he was the only one who didn't get punched in the back four, probably.
Murillo picked up 17 points. Munoz got 14. Nico Williams got 13. Was that Savannah? Yeah, Savannah. Not in the front.
Always knew we should. That's why Arsenal wanted him, guys. Nico Williams, because he's a left back. Actually, it's not the same one that plays for Bilbao. Just a play on a name, but unless Nico Williams has made a really drastic move in Nottingham Forest, which I don't think's happened.
No. And Eze was the highest scoring player with 20. Morgan Rogers with 15. Harvey Barnes with 15. Drewsbury Hall with 13. Trossard with 12. And your mate from West Ham, Callum Wilson, with 12 as well, mate.
Callum Wilson. You're going to get me on the rant. That just shows how awful they are.
The strikers.
They have to rely on Callum Wilson, who's had, if the only person who's had less injuries than him is the cast out casualty, mate. He's going to be in the next series. But yeah, fair play. But
it just goes to show, I don't know if you guys agree, but the pool of players for strikers is just not happening at the moment. It's really low, you know. You've got at Liverpool who can't do nothing. And then you literally got, it's either like Thiago, isn't it? Brentford who's doing, and obviously Mateta when he's on form. But other than that, it's Haaland, really. Everyone's got to have probably Haaland in their team.
So I was listening to the FPL pod, the one that a couple of them do, like Kelly Cates and people like that.
Yeah.
And I forgot his name. Jules Laurent, that's the one. And what they actually said is absolutely bang on. Why FPL is so hard this season is because the actual top players for value ain't actually doing it. So the only top player that's doing it is Haaland. Then if you go back down, you've obviously got Salah's not. Palmer's been out injured quite a bit. Saka's been in and out. Then Isak isn't doing nothing. I know there's a bit of a theme here, but like also Gabriel's injured now. So those quite expensive players are either not available or not in form. Do you get what I mean, Ravi?
Yeah, and like I think so going into the season, I thought, do you know what, it's gonna be really hard to manage the cost of plays this season, and I thought this was one of the hardest years to pick an initial squad in terms of the values. I thought we're really stretched thin here in a good way, because I think a lot of the values of defenders went up because of defensive contributions, and what the seasons turn out to be is Haaland plus anyone else. And the pool of players to pick from is so wide because so many players are having small little purple patches that by the time that people are actually putting them in their team, they're not scoring anymore. So like Semenyo started the season on fire.
Yeah.
Some people had him in their team, some people didn't because of I think they started against Liverpool and had a few hard games, but then they started really, really well and he was scoring all the goals. Then all of a sudden he stopped scoring and now he's injured. And you see these with players all the time, like Caicedo started the season really, really well, started scoring and all that. And like people are transferring him out now because he's not scoring anymore, but he's a defensive midfielder. It was always a purple patch.
Yeah.
So I think this season's been really difficult. And like, you know, for me, like I finished in the top 10% last year. I've finished in the top million in the last 3-4 years.
I like that little drop. Casual there.
Just, you know,
us
like,
peasants, do you know what I mean?
like just, you know, brushing my shoulder a little bit, yeah. But, you know, I'm sitting at
John Cena.
I'm sitting at 2.5 million this year, and like, I know that's better than 10 million other players, but then it's still like, I'm finding it really difficult to try and find the next gem to pick. And I think that's the issue with this season.
Yeah, I know, agree. I think what also, mind the pun, has blinded people is that everyone's focusing on DEFCON and completely forgetting about defenders that do offer an attacking element.
Yeah.
So like the DEFCON has been quite important. So over a season, it probably turns 60 points into about 80 or 90. But don't forget about players like Munoz that can get you 14 points, how they do, or 6 points one week, 14 another. Don't forget about those players, defenders that offer attacking element. If you can balance it out, then I think you're fine. But I don't know, Jonesy, do you think, and Ravi, do you think that has kind of been forgot about and everyone's just focusing on DEFCON?
I don't know. I've gone for more of heavy on the defence, but players who get me goals. So like the Timbers, the Munozes and stuff like that. Like I have to agree with Ravi. I've got 4.3 in the bank, and I don't think I've ever played FPL where I've got money spare. You know, and if I was to make
4.3 with Haaland still.
With Haaland and Semenyo and Eze is still in there, and it's just crazy because if I was to do the transfers, I'm guessing that when I bring in the next two players, I'll still be on like 5 or possibly even 6 mil in the bank, and that's crazy. Like for me, I struggle with FPL every year to keep within the budget, and to have 4.3 sitting there just goes to show you, like Ravi says, these expensive players like the Salahs and stuff like that are just not hitting the form. So that's why you've got to find these purple patch players, as Ravi said, these Caicedos when they're on form, the Semenyos. I just feel this year you have to hold on to transfers. So then when them purple patches happen, you need to get them in. and get them in quick and then get them out, get someone else in. Do you get what I mean? You can't have these, like, gone, I think, are the days at the moment, well, especially this year, of having Salah for the whole season, having, I don't know, Semenyo for the whole season, Van Dijk, because obviously you can see what's been happening with the form. But yeah, I think this year the points are going to come from defenders and midfielders more than strikers, and the DEFCON is definitely helping. Because can you imagine if the DEFCON wasn't in this year? Like, I reckon most of the points in this, they'll be the lowest probably FPL has been for years, I reckon, with what's not happened with strikers hitting goals and on form. But
I don't think a lot of people have kept. I don't think a lot of teams, bar Arsenal, really have kept clean sheets.
Exactly.
I've seen so many 2-1s this season, just like, or even like just a 1-1 somewhere, and it's just like, okay, that serves no one really, apart from, like, one goal and then like no one else has a clean sheet.
Exactly.
And then half the like, also, like, have you noticed just in this season especially, there've been loads of own goals this season. A weird amount of own goals. So like, people are either losing a couple of points there, or even, and strikers just not getting any goals. So I think there is a bit of a balance to make, and where you're saying about the money as well, like, I'm looking at my team and potential transfers to make. Like, could I take Nick Voltemada out of my team to put in Thiago? There's a 1.5 million difference there that gives me more money.
Exactly. It's mad.
I just think as well, because if you look at it, the only premium that's really hitting is Haaland. So if you look at it, mostly the players that you're having in your teams are between the 7 mil and the 9 mil. So I think that's why a lot of teams are having a lot of money, and like your sport for choice, like, really, like, you think of people like Minte at Brighton. Like, he's quite cheap. Like, it's the differentials and the cheaper players are the ones that are doing it. But I don't think you're seeing many. It goes in spurts. Like, you see some of the players who are like 4 million, like Dan Ballard. When I brought him in for 1 week and got rid of him the next week because I didn't realise I'd done it by accident. But that week I brought him in, it was when he scored and I had a clean sheet, and I was like, "Oh, he ain't going to do that again." And I got rid of him, and then scored against us, dickhead. But right. This, before we go and analyse FPL anymore, with someone who's in the top 10%. I think I might actually be above you, actually, then, Ravi, at the minute, because I'm sure I'm like in the top 1 million.
Yeah, you must be. Yeah, I mean, my total points.
Just want to drop
my
that
total
in.
points are sitting at 656.
I'm not sure what I've got. Jonesy will know, but yeah.
That's ridiculous.
But so we'll go into our teams for this up and coming week. Then we'll go through the fixtures anyway. Jonesy, do you want us? Should we start? We'll start with my free hit team. See what you guys think.
Yeah.
Can you read it out for me?
Sure. Yeah, it's a bit small, so excuse. I'm going to get close to the camera, but I'll move my face out of the way.
Bloody hell! No,
so you've got Kelleher in goal. You've got Munoz, Timber, Matty, Cafu Cash, and Nico O'Reilly at the back. And you've got Eze, Rogers, Doku, Saka in midfield with Haaland and Thiago up front. And you've got on the bench Dubravka, Bowen, Xhaka, and Anderson. Is that Anderson?
And I think so. I think I forgot.
Alderete from
Alderete.
Sunderland.
Yeah, so obviously going through some of that. I did have Mateta, and then I thought it's either Mateta or O'Reilly. O'Reilly or Mateta. Mateta or O'Reilly. And I thought, if I put Mateta on the bench, I'm going to be absolutely fuming if he hauls. So I thought I'll put someone on the bench who's not going to do that. So that's why I picked Bowen against Liverpool. But he probably will now. And then, the back four I'm quite happy with. I needed to have Timber, Munoz and O'Reilly. I just think he probably won't play now, knowing my luck. But I just think against Leeds, O'Reilly could offer a bit of an attack in return. Ravi, what do you think of that squad?
I like it. I I mean, my preference is to have quite a deep bench. I think you've gone kind of cheap on the bench there, but like you're putting
I've
a
still
lot
got
of the
1.8 million. So I
yeah,
could
and like that,
actually-
yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where like like a couple of those Sunderland defenders like Mukiele, I have in my team as well.
Yeah.
4.1 mil, I think I picked him up for. And like,
Yeah.
if I wanted to, I've got like 1.3 in the bank, so then I could upgrade him easily to a 5.5 mil defender.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
plenty of options there.
Yeah, it was just them last two subs, and I thought, oh, yeah, I'll just leave it. If I need to change it, I will. Like the only one I am umming and ahhing about, and this is the dangerous thing, is the goalkeeper.
Mm.
It was either Kelleher or Martinez for me, and I thought, oh, I don't know, I don't really want to go double Villa defence. Because
I
obviously I've got
probably
Matty
wouldn't want to go
Cash.
double Villa in general.
Well, yeah, but yeah, I have with Cash and Rogers, and it's only because
Yeah.
they're playing Wolves. That's the only reason. But yeah, I think obviously Brentford have got Burnley, haven't they?
Yeah.
So obviously
At
having
home as well.
Thiago, yeah, and if you're having someone like Thiago, and you think he hopefully should get you a goal. But yeah, hopefully Kelleher makes a couple of saves. Jonesy, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, mate, you've gone pretty much. Let me just pop it up again. Pretty much strong every aspect. I think we've gone. Haaland's obviously the safe bet. Thiago's pretty good bet as well. Like you say, Burnley at home.
Yeah.
Midfield could look like it can get you some assist points everywhere on that.
What put me off as well about Mateta is he only played 59 minutes last Sunday, and I
Yeah.
don't know how many he played on Thursday.
I mean, I'm looking at your midfield, and every one of your midfielders could get you an assist point this weekend. Very one or two, do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's pretty much straight. But like I say, mate, if I was to pick someone out of that team now, I'd probably worry about is Kelleher. Yeah, it'd probably be the only one. He's the only one, but not other than that.
Yeah, but I just think goalkeepers in general are just so difficult to pick.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because realistic, if you take him out, who'd you pick? It's either Martinez. If it's not him, who'd you pick? There's not enough, unless it's Donnarumma. But then obviously you're having to, like the Jeremy Doku one was a bit of a genius like move for me. I thought, oh, when Man City play these sort of games, who does it normally fall on? It's either Foden or Doku. Everyone's like pinning everything onto Haaland. And this could be the sort of game that Doku like does a couple of assists or even a goal. So I thought, oh, why not? And I was surprised actually how cheap Jeremy Doku is.
He's
Like 6.5. Yeah, and I think that's I was so shocked that's what he was. And I was Eze and Saka, obviously for obvious reasons. But I knew if I took Saka out for, I don't know, for say like a Shard Day or something, see, that was saving more money there. Like, I ended up with like 12 million.
That's not the aim of this game, is it? To save money?
No, it's not.
Well, as an accountant, I probably would play like that.
There you go.
No, I've gone the wrong way. It's watching Arsenal women play too much. I'm used to playing the Claire Wheatley way. But I knew Saka will probably do something then. So no, I thought I think he's done all right. And then obviously I bought Eze in for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll go to Ravi. What's your team?
Yeah. So I've just sent a little screenshot in. So Raya in goal for me, and then I've made two transfers, both defensively. So I've taken Gabriel and Reece James out of the team, and in come Munoz and O'Reilly. Same logic with you with O'Reilly. He's gone under the radar for me this season purely because I think Guardiola's got such a reputation with rotation, but I think he's played every game.
Someone around the 5 million mark.
Yeah, so I think it's 5 mil flat, and I was just like, look, if he's going to play every game, Leeds is probably the best audition for my team anyway. So he's coming to make up the back three for me. Going into midfield, I've got Rice, Njai, Kudus, and Mbermo. It started really, really well with Rice, and then descended very quickly into.
It was all right, apart from Man, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has the same hatred as that I do involving Tottenham. That's the problem. Like, I won't pick one of their players at all, not even in my squad. There was a chance I could have got a 4.5 million player to have like a absolute dream team. It wasn't happening. I won't even go to music concerts there. Won't go to boxing. It's bad enough when I have to go to Tottenham Hale train station. Yeah, it's Tash tells me I'm quite unhealthy with my hatred.
Yeah. But yeah, like I just like
He's a
he's
good
one of the
player,
players that
though.
I'm not. He's one of the players that I'm not like super happy with in the team anyway. Like when I brought him in, he stopped scoring. So really,
Well, so you've done
I'll
good
take
then. Well done.
I'll take that. I'll take the punishment of having him in my team if it means he doesn't
Yeah.
score. So really, I'm doing a public service.
Yeah, exactly. We'll give you a knighthood at the end of the show.
And then on to my strikers, I've got Voltemada, Mateta, and Haaland. And Haaland, you can see, is already triple captained.
That's an interesting one about I'm going to absolutely murder his name. Voldemort, what, him? The Newcastle one?
Nick.
Not Nick who does the shows. Peter Crouch wannabe, him.
Yeah.
It's interesting because he was on the bench, weren't he, against Marseille? And he came off the bench. So I don't know what they're trying to do with him. Like, I thought he looked alright at the start of the season, but do you think he's sort of someone who started well and fell off a bit?
I don't think he's fallen off a little bit. I just think expectations have sort of like met his level.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of him when he was at Stuttgart.
Yeah.
Before he signed up, I watch a fair bit of European football, and like I was really impressed with him. I thought a bigger team would pick him up than Newcastle this season.
I love it. I love it. A little dig to Newcastle.
Well, in all honesty, like I thought a genuine like European superpower would have picked him up. And
I think Liverpool may have done if they didn't go for, say, Isak, maybe, like, or if he was an option they thought of before Ekatike, because surely there must have been across him. If they're looking at Ekatike, who was he at Frankfurt? Yeah. So they must have been across the strikers out there as well, surely.
Yeah, and I think Voltemade is such an interesting player because he's about 6'17", and then he's like, but he doesn't play like a conventional tall centre forward. He almost plays like a number 10. He's a very weird player, and I think that kind of like confuses a lot of defenders because they're expecting him to head the ball, but then like he's actually quite silky with the ball at his feet. But yeah, so I like as soon as he signed, I was pretty much straight on him. And he started pretty well. But now Newcastle's performances have dipped, his performances have dipped. But I do think part of it is, he's only 21.
Yeah, he's still young,
getting used to the Premier League, getting used to the physicality of this league, and getting used to Newcastle being Newcastle, really. So yeah, I've still got faith in him, but it was a consideration for me to take him out for Thiago this week.
And when you come across the best back five, life's never the same, as Tupac would say, isn't it? So,
but yeah, so that's really what my team's looking like at the moment. But yeah, I quite like Voltemada. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, cool. Like, and all jokes aside, he obviously scored against us, didn't he? But I think it's an experience playing against our back five, just us old Joshua Kimmich, Mr. Salty himself. So pass him the salt shaker to those Bayern Munich fans as well. Jesus. I don't like. I know I'm digressing a bit. I don't know where they've all come from. Like, I was looking on Twitter or X, whatever it's called, and there's about 7 or 8 of them all like, "Oh yeah, we'll be back." And it's like, all right, mate. It's not a Netflix series, so just move on. Yeah, but Jonesy, what's I know you didn't change your team, but just go through it again.
Yeah, so I like I say, I've got transfers I can make. So I've got Donnarumma in goal, Munoz, Timber, Mark Gahey, and Senesi in the back. I've got Semenyo, Eze, that is, and Caicedo in the middle, and a front three of Gyökeres, Haaland, and Mateta. on my bench is Dubravka, Esteve, Baleba, and Xhaka. So I'm going to ask you both: if you've got 2 transfers, who are you changing? You can do one each if you want.
I was going to say Gyökeres, but I know you won't do it.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, no, but obviously, but I wouldn't do it because I've only done it actually because I'm on a free hit. I would probably look at a couple of those. How much money have you got?
4.3.
Jesus, mate. Right. Yeah, I wouldn't be having. When I saw her face, I'm a believer on the bench, and probably Xhaka if you got 4.3 million. I think there's probably a couple midfielders out there that could actually get into your first team. That like you could even get like someone like Morgan Rogers and Doku for that price.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's my view. What about you, Rav?
Yeah, I'd probably say the same thing about Gyökeres as well. If you want to keep an Arsenal striker in there, recently fit Gabriel Jesus should be available.
Yeah.
Imagine. What's he, about 3.5 mil? And it
must be, yeah.
He must be about 5.5 or something like that. Something cheap. Yeah, I'd echo the same sentiment in the sense of like you've got like a very cheap looking bench, and I'd probably upgrade some of those options to be a bit more rotational because you know, with a couple of flags in your team like Semenyo and Gyökeres, you're going to be relying on your bench to actually like get the points coming in if they don't play. So then I wouldn't necessarily trust Esteve or Baleba as your first and second substitutes to come in to score big points in the absence of Semenyo and Gyökeres, who are 2 premium players.
Yeah. I get exactly what you mean. Yeah. I'm going to make some decisions tonight. I don't know. It's just a tough
2
one.
a.m. sweet. I've done it.
I'm up late at night deciding who's going to be on that team sheet. But I do want to bring in 2 players as well.
It just gives you options as well. Like Ravi said, if Semenyo and Gyökeres don't play, I think the dodgy thing about Gyökeres is he'll probably get you 1 or 2 points.
Yeah.
Because I can see him coming on with like 10 minutes to go.
Thiago would be the striker I'd bring in.
Yeah, and like my logic is with injured players, especially if they don't play, right? 2 points is better than no points.
Yeah.
And even in this case, like with the route, like you don't know if Semenyo is going to like come on in the last 15 minutes if they need a goal against Sunderland, or if Gyökeres is going to do the same thing. So like they'll get 1 point.
Yeah, exactly.
Like then on your bench, you're kind of like struggling with the option if like, you know, say whoever you bring in for Esteve or Baleba does well, then you're kind of stuck with them on your bench if those premium players that you have started only come on for like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll run through the fixtures and do the predictions. Is that right, Jonesy?
Yeah, no worries, mate. I've got the predictions up now.
So
we've got 3 o'clock kickoffs on Saturday.
Yeah, that's a lot.
First one up, we have Brentford versus Burnley. Next up, how you do? You want to run around and do predictions?
Yeah, we can do a couple of them if you want.
Yeah, cool, no worries. I'm probably going to go for. I'm not doing Cannon Jonezy. But so yeah, we've got. I'll go for.
So that's why I was covering you, so you get your fix. I mean.
I get 3. I'll go 3-1 Brentford on that one.
Oh no, I don't want that. What about you, Robbie?
I'll go for a 2-0 Brentford.
Yeah, that's better.
Cool. And what did you go for, George?
3-0.
3-0. Right.
Yeah,
next up, the big derby, City versus Leeds, the Haaland derby, as they call it. I'm going to go for
El Haalandico.
Yeah, El Haalandico.
I like that. El Haalandico.
I'm going to go for a 5-0 City.
We'll have to kind of finish that. That's going to be the tagline of the show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go something really left field. I'm gonna go 3-2 City.
Oh.
I think everyone's thinking they're going to batter them, and they probably will, but you never know.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go 3-0. I think it's gonna be a walk in the park, but I think Leeds are just gonna park the bus. It'll get broken. I think a
But
few
that's
goals
not football.
Right. Next up is Sunderland versus Bournemouth, and I will go. Oh, it's a tough for Bournemouth. That will be. I'm going to go for a Desmond. I'm going 2-2.
Isn't it my answer? I'll go 1-1.
Yeah, you just took my answer as well. I was
Yeah,
like, this is the most. This is the most 1-1 game of football I've ever seen in my life.
It's like a triangle. Jonesy nicked mine, I nicked yours. So
Wicked. Next up, we have a 5:30 kickoff. Everton versus Newcastle, and I will go 2-1 Newcastle.
2-0 Everton.
Ooh.
I'll go for a 0-0.
0-0. Great.
I think it can be a boring game of football.
Glad I ain't watching that one.
No, I'll be sleeping, getting ready for Survivor Series. Next up, we have at 8 o'clock on a Saturday. Spurs versus Fulham. I'm going to go for a 15-0 Fulham. No, I'm going to go for... I actually could see Fulham getting something here, to be honest. I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham.
I'm going to go 3-1 Fulham. Iwobi and Smith Rowe.
I'll go for the contrarian answer, and for the benefit of my team, I'll go for a 1-0 Spurs with Kudu scoring, just because that's what
they're not going to keep a clean sheet. I know they've got the best two centre halves in the world, but
they've got more chance. Well, Bonnie Blue's got more chance of keeping a clean sheet than Spurs at the moment. So, and that's saying something.
Well, I did find it funny. Jules LeRon said so. He was doing a podcast with someone called Sam who supports Tottenham. So, and obviously, Jules LeRon supports Arsenal and PSG. And he was like, my teams have scored 9 goals against your team in 1 week. So I found that quite funny.
Yeah. Wicked. Right. Then we move on to the Sunday games. And first up, we have Palace versus Man United at 12 o'clock on a Sunday. Right. Yeah. Palace versus Man United. I'm going to go for 2-1 Palace. Eddie getting the winner in the 90th minute.
No, he's not done that before against United, does he?
Exactly.
Fuck it. Just to upset them all. I'm going 4-1 Palace.
Oh, that's bold. I'll go 2-0 Palace. I think Man United look a bit toothless up front. Palace are really good defensively.
Well, they ain't got Benjamin Tesco's anymore, have they?
And Cunha's still injured, I think. So
yeah, because he missed a Christmas light turn on, didn't he? That's all that.
Something like that.
Fucking hell. Next up is Aston Villa versus Wolves. And yeah, Villa, for me, I'm going to go with a 4-1.
3-1, I think.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be a low scoring. I think it's going to be 2-1 Villa. I think they'll just get over the line there.
Cool. Next up, Forest versus Brighton. I think Forest are coming to a bit of form now, aren't they? Doing well. I'm going to go with 2-1 Forest.
I'm going 2-2.
Desmond.
Yeah, I'm going 1-0. Again, it reads it like I can just read the scoreline here. Like, Nottingham Forest 1, Brighton 1.
Next up, we have relegation battle between West Ham and Liverpool. I'm going to go for a lovely 3-1 West Ham win.
So, every Liverpool game I predicted, they've lost. So, I'm going 3-0 Liverpool.
Cool.
Just for my bit in the community.
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-0 Liverpool. Yeah, I just think that they'll need to get themselves off this little run of form that they're on.
You've heard it here first. Surely they can't lose to West Ham.
Jesus.
Surely. I did say it on the watch on the other day. You heard it here first. Liverpool will... West Ham will definitely not get anything at Liverpool.
What's that old Mick McCarthy quote? It can't go on like this. Oh, it can.
And then last up, obviously, is the game of the weekend. Chelsea versus Arsenal at the Bridge. I am going for a 3-1 Arsenal win.
I've got to stick to it. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 4.
Oof. I'm going to go with the same goal margin, but a bit more conservative. In a sense, I'm going 2-0 Arsenal here.
Cool. And that's
So
your
we keep clean sheet
fixtures
again.
for
Cool.
this week.
Cool.
Next.
Just to kind of wrap up, we'll pick our player who we think is going to get the most points out of this like game week. I'm going to change it a bit, and I've not told Jonesy about this.
Oh, great.
So you're not allowed to pick Haaland because that just makes everything easy. So
Okay.
yeah, Ravi, I'll let you go first as you're the guest. Who do you think is going to top score? They don't have to be in your team. You can, or if they're in your team, it's better. But if they don't necessarily need to be.
Part of me thinks like just go on like a little like madman guess and just be like, screw it, like Jordan Pickford's going to save 2 penalties or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Never know against Newcastle.
You never know. You never know. I think it depends on how some teams could go. I mean, like I am going to put a rogue shout out. I think Mateta might go on a good bit of form, maybe score twice, get an assist or something like that against United. So yeah, I do think Palace are going to win. I think Mateta might be quite involved in a lot of the goals. So I'm hoping he gets maybe a couple of goals and an assist or something like that.
Cool. So you've got Mateta, Jonesy.
Oh, I'm going for Eze.
Cool. It's like a Palace theme, this, isn't it?
Yeah. Go Eddie.
Yeah. We're going to go Andrew Johnson or something. I'm going to go for Jeremy Doku.
Wicked.
I've got to back my pick.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll hand back over to Jonesy for the end of the show.
Yeah, no, and what we'll do is whoever wins, we'll post it out over on Twitter from our new page. And speaking of Twitter, today the George and Jonezy FPL Breakdown Show Twitter page went live. So guys, if you're watching in here, I can see 117 of you watching. Please drop us a follow, retweet it out, come and join us. I know George is going to post quite a bit over the weekend, FPL stuff and points, and that he's followed some good accounts as well. And
Don't worry, you won't have me writing, fuck's sake, why did I pick him?
But no, come give us a follow. We'll be posting from there. And yeah, all the information will go through there and everything. But yeah, no, I just want to say thanks everyone for watching and joining in. Ravi, obviously, thank you very much for coming on, being our first guest on the show. Thank
you very much for having me. Been brilliant, guys.
No, it's been really good chat, good team knowledge. And George, obviously, wonderful co-host. Thanks for coming on, mate, and doing this.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. I always enjoy it. I always look forward to the FPL show. I try to make myself sound like I know what I'm talking about, but some of us are not in the top 10%, are we, Rav? So,
not yet.
But yeah, no, really enjoy it. We've got loads of more great stuff and content coming up. We have a couple more guests. Yep. We might even get a cheeky show with Brooksy on. That could be fun. So, and even El Smugger himself when he's like feeling up to it. So obviously, just want to say love to Liam as well. Taking some time away from stuff. So obviously, we're all thinking about him. And just remember to hit the subscribe on the channel. We're also going to have like giveaways across the season as well. We've got our October winner, which I think it's Tesh's son, from what Liam was telling me. So that's good. And then it's getting very dangerously that it could be Liam one month because he is flirting around at the top there. So yeah, obviously got all that stuff coming through. So yeah, just keep watching and we'll be back next week.
Yep, no, definitely. Like I say, George, you ain't got a women's show this next week, have you? Or you?
Yeah, it's more probably towards the end of the week because we've got a giveaway to give away. Funny enough, because we'll be previewing Arsenal Liverpool game. I'm not going to lie, being an Arsenal women fan, we can kind of all envy each other here. It's been a bit of a nice break from having to deal with some of the stuff, but obviously we ended on a high beat in Real Madrid, so it's not been the easiest season.
It has indeed. But no, that's it. Keep your eyes on all the socials for shows and upcoming stuff. Like I say, George and Jonezy is on a pause at the moment, but there might be some new stuff coming your way. I've been having some discussion with George in the background, and we'll touch base with Liam. Could be something strange coming along. Hint, hint. But no,
and it's not my brother.
It's not his brother, who's very strange, by the way.
He is strange, but not,
But no, keep your eyes on that. And thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in. We'll catch you again next week. Good luck with all your FPL choices and picks. And just copy and paste Ravi's team. See you later, guys. Good night.
See you later.